Author George Bernard once said, "Life isn't about finding yourself, it's about creating yourself." So my name is Madeline. I'm a junior transfer student from New York. So this is my second semester here at LMU. And that was in itself was a journey, so I'm going to talk a little bit about that and how it brought me to believe that the journey is more important than the destination. So for you to understand my belief that the journey is more important than the destination, I'll describe to you my personal experience, studied by the Richard Ivey School of Business, and the experience of my friend who was here before, Ellen, whose journey uncovered a passion and changed her destination. To begin, I'll now speak about how I've come to believe the journey of creating myself rather than destination or goal has greatly impacted me. So I always thought that in my early 20s, I'd have everything set. I would know what my job was going to be after graduation. I'd have an internship. I'd be so happy in college, ready for graduation, prepped for life. But a year ago, I was a student at a college that I hated in New York. I didn't know who I was, what I wanted to do, what was going to be my end goal, and I am very goal-oriented, so that was very frustrating for me. I was so focused and lost with my life plan that I just got lost in what I wanted to do, and I had no hope for anything. I was in a rut. I was dragging through every day, through every month, through every year. I just didn't know what I wanted to do anymore. And because of this, I realized I couldn't just find myself if I didn't create myself first. And after that, I decided to take steps towards adulthood and to live in the present, to do things that I'd always wanted to do. So one of my dreams growing up was to come to LMU. So I decided to transfer, and I became independent from my parents. I'm completely independent when it comes to financially, and I make my own friends now. I don't have to worry about oh, my parents are putting me in this club, my parents are doing this for me, my mom put me in dance classes and pageants. And I'm no, I'm doing what I want now. So that journey helped me realize that I need to stop focusing on the destination and enjoy the time that I have now, because the journey is going to direct me to who I am, and it will help me to develop so that I can have a good future where I can enjoy every moment. Next, I'll speak of a study done regarding the negative effects of outcome goals by the Richard Ivey School of Business that supports my belief that the journey is more important than the destination. There's nothing wrong with setting goals. There's nothing wrong with it at all. But when we start to set outcome goals instead of learning goals, we start to lose track of what we're doing. There are so many of us who take classes who are well, I want that grade. I'm going to take this class as an easy A. But you forget you're taking the class so you can learn, not just so you can get an A. So because of that, the Richard Ivey School of Business stated in the article that when we become more focused on the results of our actions instead of what we can gain through the actions, we lose track of what we're doing, and we pretty much do start to get into a rut, and and we don't get to enjoy our time and learn as we get to work towards our goals. Last semester, I took a philosophy course. I was not excited about it because I'm not into philosophy at all, but I took it because we had to take it, and I said every day I went to class, and I was I'm here, I'm going to get a B. I aimed for a B because I know myself. So I was I'm aiming for a B, not aiming for an A. That's all I want. And at the end of the course, I had no clue what I learned over the semester. When we had to write a final paper, I had to go through every single note from every single day because I actually hadn't learned, because I was so focused on getting that B that I just didn't remember any day that I went to class. I cannot tell you even today what I learned in that class.
Oh no.
Like I said before, focusing on these outcome goals, we miss the journey and all the positives that could result from it. If we were to take a step back and stop worrying about our grades and actually care about the coursework instead, the journey and the classes would result in a much more pleasant experience and a better understanding of ourselves and our goals. To finally explain how I believe that the journey is more important than the destination, I'll build upon the previous article by speaking about a personal friend of mine named Ellen. So Ellen was a nursing student at the school where I used to attend, and it was an in-state college, but it was really far away from her home, and she wasn't happy with the major or being far away from home. She assumed that was just because she didn't like the school. So she decided that it was time for her to transfer but she kept her major of nursing. She transferred to a school closer to home, and she decided to take some classes in addition to nursing just to change it up a little bit because nursing has a really, really hard course load and takes a lot of focus. So, once she transferred and she took other courses, one of the courses she took was biology, and she realized that she loved biology way more than she loved nursing. Without embarking on this new journey and trying something new, she would have never figured out that she had a love for biology, and she would have lived for years doing work that she didn't enjoy. In closing, I've spoken to you about my own personal belief, a study done by the Richard Ivey School of Business, and finally the story of Ellen, whose journey changed her destination. I've given you all these examples to help you understand my belief that the journey is far more important than the destination. This may also help you to better connect with the quote by author George Bernard. Life isn't about finding yourself, it's about creating yourself. Because no matter what you think your destination is, the journey will always have the life-changing and character-defining lessons and experiences.